What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. 5-star skills, you know what it is. Make sure to like and subscribe, obviously comment, give your thoughts and opinions. In today's video we'll be going through 5 players with the most pressure going into the 25 and 26 season. Now this list, it may be obvious to some of you, it may be controversial to some of you, but nonetheless I'll give you my thoughts on them, and yeah, let's get into it. Starting at number 5, Benjamin Sesko. 65 million from RB Leipzig to Man United. Our new striker, Ruben Amorim, has been blessed with a brand new attack, 200 million in Cunha, Mbumo and Sesko. Now, Mbumo and Cunha, we already know, Premier League proven players. They will get goals and assists. That's guaranteed. I can promise you anything. You're already seeing it with Mbumo, 2 goals in a row right now. You'll probably score against City as well. The guy is a danger. Cunha driving with the ball, a danger. Sesko, on the other hand, there are questions about this boy. And I like this guy. I've seen him. He looks good. He's good when driving with the ball. He can play. He can do the hold up play, all that kind of stuff. The issue is Amorim's system does not get the best out of Sesko. You've seen. Oh, again, it's only 3 games in, but he didn't start the first game. He didn't start the second game. He came on against Grimsby. Well, he started Grimsby and we lost. Obviously, took the 10th penalty. And yeah, you could say that 10th penalty was because he had a cramp or whatever. But listen, a lot of people are starting to look at him sideways, and I rate the guy. I think he will have a good season, but ultimately there is massive pressure, because we saw our last young striker that we signed, Hoyland, brought in 72 million, 9 goals and 45 before coming here. I never wanted him, but there was a lot of pressure. He had to hit the ground running. He had a decent first season, and after that it just went to crap. He couldn't handle it. The pressure eventually got to him and he succumbed to it. Sesko, on the other hand, I believe our setup now is better. That was pre-Ineos. Now we're in the Ineos era. We've recruited better, and I believe in the right system we can get a good player out of Sesko. But ultimately, if Amorim's staying, there's going to be a lot of pressure for him to deliver. There's going to be a lot of pressure for Sesko to score goals, provide assists, be that Man United number 9 that we've been looking for years now. And will he do it? I don't know if he'll do it under Amorim, but I think under a different manager, if you're playing a 4-3-3, I think he can get the job done. But again, we'll see. Again, there's a lot of promise with him. But again, there's undoubtedly a lot of pressure coming in from him. If you're the Man United number 9, you have to deliver. It's simple. Right, number 4, Victor Gyökeres. Another striker coming in. Obviously from Portugal, Sporting CP. 50+ goals in the last 2 seasons. The guy is a goal machine. If there's one thing this guy knows, it's goals, and he eats them for breakfast, lunch and dinner. He's unreal when it comes to goal scoring. The issue is, though, there's a lot of pressure on him. Arsenal, what we've been saying about Arsenal for the last few years, give this Arsenal team a striker, they will win trophies, they will win the league. That season when they were going neck to neck with City, band for band with City, they should have won the league, to be honest. But the problem was a striker. They needed an out-and-out goal scorer, especially an out-and-out goal scorer that will score against the mid to lower table teams. That's where Arsenal, especially last season, dropped a lot of points last year. They dropped a lot of points not scoring against the mid to lower table teams. Draws that should have been wins. Losses that should have been draws. That's the difference. And I believe Victor Gyökeres can deliver, but ultimately, the pressure. If he does not score at least 20 goals a season, it's looking peak for him. He needs to score at least 20 goals a season, in my opinion. You got brought in for over £80 million from Sporting CP. You've earned your moves. A lot of people were looking at you sideways. You were at Coventry, you were at Swansea. People would say you failed at England before, but now you're back here. You need to deliver. You need to be scoring goals. I do actually think he'll deliver. I do think he will be the man. I think actually Arsenal will win this league. But again, if I'm wrong, this could be a disaster season for Arsenal, and Arteta's head can be on the chopping board, because he has no excuse now. He's been given a brand new striker, goal scorer, pure proven goal scorer. He's been given another attacker in Eze, prem proven attacker that can get goals and assists, can play in multiple attacking positions. Now it's up to Arteta and it's up to Gyökeres. Figure something out, because you were shit in the first game against United, good against Leeds, shit in the last game against Liverpool. Again, you weren't given service. You can question the manager for that. And international duty, you were looking a bit smelly, I can't lie. So yeah, a lot of eyes will be on you, bro. Get it done. deliver, score goals. Right, number 3, Florian Wirtz. Obviously, we discussed this guy. He is a player I rate. You know, some people in the last video that were talking about, if you haven't watched the last video, make sure you check it out. I'll pop it up now. Listen, the guy is talented. I rate the player. But listen, this guy was brought in for over 140 million. Yeah, from Germany. You better be hitting the ground running. That's why there's a lot of criticism around him. Because, again, I can say it's been 3 games. Listen, if you're coming in for 130 million pounds, 140, whatever it is, you better be hitting the ground running. Because if it was Pogba coming in, I'm bring that same point up. I'm going to continue to do it because a lot of you people have short memories. Pogba was treated like a scumbag because he didn't score goals, get assists, do all this, do that from a CDM position, even though he did get goals and assists. Wirtz, you have to be hitting the ground running. You're meant to be that world-class player coming in. For that kind of money, you expect a world-class player hitting the ground running. But he hasn't yet. I do like him. I think he will potentially have a good season. But listen, I'm watching you, bro. I'll be watching every game from you. You need to deliver. There's no excuses. 150 million. Deliver, bro. There's no hiding here. I'm not giving you that first season. Settle in. You have been paid for 150 million. You got to deliver. There's no excuses, bro. And that's that. Number 2. Now, this is a bit of a duet, as you might say. Kylian Mbappe and Vinny Jr. I'm going to tie these two together because they're 2 sides of the same coin. Ultimately, there's a lot of pressure for both of these to deliver. Because, as we know, they kind of occupy the same spaces. That was my concern. Obviously, before I started making content, my concern was when Mbappe joined this Real Madrid team, people were acting like they'd win the Champions League instantly because they signed him. That's not how it works. You need to sign players that suit the system that you have in place. Mbappe likes to, obviously, when he's starting up number 9, he likes to drift left. Or if he's starting on the left, he likes to drift into the centre, starting from the left position. Same with Vinny. They're both left-sided players, ultimately, playing in the same team. How does that work? It doesn't. Or the manager needs to figure out a way to get them both to perform. Because right now, Vinny will have a good game, Mbappe will be shit. Mbappe will have a good game, Vinny will be shit. These two do not have the connection yet. And I feel like the other issue is they're both trying to be the talisman. One of them needs to step up and say, I'm the guy, I'm Mr. Real Madrid. You can be the sidekick. Because that's how it was when Bale, Ronaldo, and fucking Benzema was there. Ronaldo, obviously, everyone knew he was the main man, and Benzema and Bale, they were his counterparts. If Mbappe comes here from PSG to Madrid, he needs to be the main guy, and Vinny needs to be his counterpart, or vice versa. They need to figure it out. But Mbappe is a Ballon d'Or level talent. He's 27 now. He still hasn't won a Ballon d'Or. Listen, the way these people were typing this guy up, World Cup, one of the best players in the tournament, and I rate him highly. Still no Ballon d'Or. Rodri won a Ballon d'Or before you, bro. Does that not scare you? Vinny was in more conversation to win the Ballon d'Or than you last season. That should be concerning to you. That should be very concerning if I'm Kylian Mbappe. He needs to deliver. They need to figure out a partnership that's going to work. Because, again, all eyes will be on them. I won't lie. All eyes will be on them. Now, before we get to number 1, I'm going to give an honourable mention to Marcus Rashford, obviously. Moving to Barcelona. He needs to deliver. Listen. Obviously, he had a sign with Man United. We appreciate him for his time with Man United. The last 3 years, he was shit. Let's just put a blank. He was shit. Wasn't tracking back. Wasn't doing anything. Horribly inconsistent. So inconsistent. That's been his issue for a while. And I was Marcus Rashford's biggest fan. I loved this guy. I was a big fan of Marcus Rashford. But listen, he's been so inconsistent. Obviously, he got his move to Aston Villa because he wasn't playing under Amarim. He was okay there. 6 out of 10. Half season there. And now, obviously, he's had his eye on Barcelona, like he said, since January of this year. And he's been given a chance. There's massive pressure on him. He needs to deliver. Because if he doesn't do well at Barcelona and he returns on loan from Barcelona, they don't take him. That's his career done at the biggest clubs. I can't lie. Who's going to take Marcus Rashford after that? Maybe a Villa. Maybe a Spurs. Maybe. No big team is going to take this guy. No Bayern Munich. No Barca. No Madrid. United won't take him back. Chelsea. None of these clubs are going to take him in. He's going to be on that lower tier. Maybe an AS Roma. Maybe a Lyon. Maybe a Marseille. That will be his level. If he does not deliver this season, there's a massive pressure on him. Obviously, with the World Cup coming up, If he misses out on that, he's cooked. I can't lie. He's done. And you don't want players to fail, obviously, especially former United players. But listen, he needs to lock in. He can't be doing this emotional, pure bullshit. He needs to just focus on delivering pure performances, proving you are England's best winger. Simple as that. Now, last but not least, and very obviously, Alexander Isak. Now, again, another player I like. I would have loved this guy at Man United. But listen, 130 million Great British pounds from Newcastle. Screaming, crying, throwing your baby out with the bathwater, throwing tantrums. Because Newcastle wanted to keep you, but you didn't want to stay there, obviously. Making statements on social media. If this guy does not get at least 25 goals in the league this season, anything below 25 goals this year is an absolute failure of a season. You've been brought in for 130 million pounds. You've been crying. Number 9, you're going to be leading the line now for Liverpool. You better fucking deliver. And of course, he's a profile I love. He's got that, he's tall, he's quick, he's got a bit of flair to him, he can link up. Prem proven, he scored goals in the Prem, 25 last season I'm pretty sure, 20 the season before. We know Isak scores goals, but ultimately, he's got his move to a big club. It's time to deliver. If he does not deliver in this first season, again, like Wirtz, massive failure. Massive failure of a season if they don't deliver. So yeah, ultimately, that's been this video. I've given you my thoughts. I even added an extra one in Rashford. Drop a comment below what you think about my thoughts and whether you think these players should be under any pressure at all. I know some Liverpool fans will be rattled because I mentioned 2. It is what it is, but listen, I'd love to hear your opinion. Drop a comment below. Talk to you later. See you in the next one. Peace.